Fired up, footballers. Whoa, that is one heck of a... Oh, man. Okay, that I can't wait for my upgrades come later this week, because that problem will not happen. Ooh, I got a stream deck coming, boys and girls. Woo! That means one button push is just like dink, changes, boom, changes, boom, action, boom, nonsense, boom, action, boom, comedy, boom, hilarity, boom, spitting fire. It's coming at you today here on Spitting Fire. Greatly appreciate you guys joining us after that loss. Wow, wow, wee, wow, wow. Chicago Fire got killed 3-0. Took a red card to the face. Federico Navarro sent off after a fit of corner kick, after a fit of a sliding kick gone wrong. And of course, bam, Chicago Fire go down. Let us know in the chat what you guys thought of that game, what you guys thought of the Fire. I thought that they played quiet. They lacked energy. They seemed to be... They did not really... The first half was all Minnesota. Minnesota was locked in, thought they were threatening to score, and then sure enough, in that second half, that's when they undid the Fire. Happened. By the way, feel free to join us in our Discord. A couple ways to get involved here at Spitting Fire. Hop in the Discord via audio. You could hop in the call and talk a little Fire with us, or just chime in on the live chat. Really appreciate all you guys hanging out here, talking a little Fire. So, all you Fire fans, Fire lows, we got the stats right here for it. We're going to get into it. And the shots were relatively even, but percentage of possession was way wackadoo. 56 possession to the Loons, the Minnesota United Loons. 43 to the Chicago Fire. Not really doing too hot there, Chicago Fire. Ezra trying to make some changes, bringing in Espinoza, Bornstein, Pineda, and Duran at different moments in the game, but it just was not enough. Not enough to change the flow of the game. Of course, once they lost Navarro to that second yellow card, it was all downhill from there. But as you can see, that second yellow happened after the first goal. Bangankul Hongwane to Emmanuel Reynosa scores, and they open up the scoring, and then about 5 minutes after that, Federico Navarro just earns the ire of the referee. Says, no more for you, no more game for you. And he begged, he pleaded. The player said, no, man. That was a little too dangerous, that tackle. Of course, he had a case because he did not make a connection with the player, did not touch him. However, he definitely threatened, and if he had connected, it could have been a bad, dangerous play. So it's understandable why he did get that reckless yellow card given to him. However, that was the difference in the game, and it sucks that it went that way for the Loons. It sucks that it went that way for the Fire. Not too happy with it. Loons fans, very happy with it. But Chicago Fire fans should not be too down and out. I got to say, the Chicago Fire are still doing okay. Take a look at this Eastern Conference. Take a look here. Chicago Fire is sitting in 7th place, guys. It's not... We're still sitting about 7th, 8th, 9th place. I know Columbus has yet to play. Friend of the show, Connor, is going to be checking out that show. New York City is still 2 matches behind. So they'll certainly be catching up. But the Chicago Fire are in the thick of things. They started off strong, and I expect them to re-kick back on. Let us know in the chat or comments below after the fact if you guys expect Chicago Fire to kick back on. I do. I'm hopeful. I've been seeing a lot of Fire fans growing concerned, especially after the U.S. Open Cup loss. Union Omaha, right there. The third round, the first round that the Chicago Fire got to play up in, and they got unceremoniously dumped at Soldier Field by Union Omaha. Some would say in an embarrassing fashion. But they were not the only MLS team punted out of the third oldest U.S. competition, or third oldest soccer competition in the world. So take some solace in that, Fire fans, if you can. It's disappointing to see. Chicago Fire got to turn things around. Right now, they are struggle busing. If we take a look at form, though, it's just these last 2 matches. Chicago Fire have been winning before that. They've been okay. They are not far off of it. That's why they're sitting in the position they are. It's not like we're the 11th place team anymore. I don't believe that. Let us know if you guys still think we're that 11th place team. I know that we did see some pundits peg us as still that 11th, 10th place team in MLS, but I'm not a believer. I think that we are a 7th place team, maybe a 6th place team, maybe even a 5th place team if we really get humming here. And by the way, Jairo Torres, he's just around the corner. I know I've read some tweets and some people who've been scouting him, specifically Dago. Dago, good follower, friend, and we always check out what Dago's saying, but Dago said, keep an eye on Jairo Torres. Torres has not been playing too well for Atlas FC as of late. So hopefully he comes to Chicago. When he arrives in Chicago, May 1st, able to turn around. That's only a week away, guys. That's right around the corner. So exciting times here for Chicago Fire fans. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out here in Spitting Fire, by the way. Kick that like button. Subscribe to Spitting Fire. Hit that subscribe button. That bell icon to let Chicago know, and also get notified of our live streams, which you guys always get to take part in. Love it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for watching the video. So if we take a look at Chicago Fire's form, they have played 8 games. And it's not like it's been a bad 8 games. Take a look. They got wins. 2 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses. They're really sitting even keel. 2-4-2. I think this is a better team than that. Let us know in the comments if you disagree or agree. Curious to hear your arguments. Or just to say what you don't even need an argument. Just say like you feel one way or another. Whatever. Say la vie. Boom. So of course they lose 3-0, and probably the most abysmal loss of the season. Would you say this is more abysmal than the loss to Omaha, where they got dumped out of the US Open Cup, or as abysmal or less? I would say this is more abysmal. Some people will say that getting dumped out of the US Open Cup is probably more abysmal, and I think there's a very valid argument for that. Let us know if you agree with that. To me, the league is more important this year, but I always do think the US Open Cup is important if you start off strong. Chicago Fire, unfortunately, did not start off strong in the US Open Cup. So they're behind the 8 ball in that they're eliminated. Gonna have to put those sour apples out of our cart and not worry about them. They're unsellable. They're unsalvageable. Let's move forward. We'll learn what we can from the mistakes that led to those sour apples. Make sure we don't end up with sour apples like those in our cart again, or at least not anytime soon. So now we got to focus on the league. And when I look at this loss, whew, 3-0, a red card, second red card too of the year, by the way. We also had another red card a couple weeks ago against Orlando City, and we lost that game too. Hard to win a soccer game when you give up a red card. Really hard. LA Galaxy, we tied. Let's just go through this list right here real quick. The last 8 games. Minnesota, we lose 3-0. Omaha, we lose in penalty shootouts. LA Galaxy, we tie 0-0. Orlando City, 1-0. FC Dallas, 0-0. Chicago, we beat Sporting Kansas City, 3-1. We beat DC United, 2-0. We tied Orlando City, 0-0. We tied Inter Miami, 0-0. So we have 4 ties, and they're all scoreless. Is that because of Gago Slonina? Part and parcel. And I think that's about it of the games. So let us know what you guys think the Chicago Fire are in store for the rest of the season. Do you see the winning ways continuing? Do you see the slide continuing? Or do you see like kind of these middling ways? What position or do you think the Chicago Fire are going to end up in? Last year it was 11th. This year they have been sitting around 7th, 5th, 6th, 8th. Right around here. I think that we're going to see the Chicago Fire finish right around the 5th place. Myself. But curious to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for hanging out here on Spitting Fire. Got some big, cool new upgrades coming to the channel very soon. Connor McCabe saying, just turned on DC and New England. and Audi Field is empty. Wow. Brutal. Where is everybody for this DC New England game? It's beautiful outside. At least it is here out in Chicago. We're certainly enjoying ourselves. Yeah, guys. Woo. So, let us know what you guys think as we kick that like button. By the way, last day of potato quality in our green screen room. We'll be getting that upgraded for you Fire fans. Greatly appreciate you guys hanging out here and enjoying your soccer. But we like to get a nice little stretch in. It was a long game. Chicago Fire got crushed. But I think we could rebuild. I think there's something to learn from this game. There's been something to learn from any game. And the last few games, absolutely. And Chicago Fire and Ezra Hendrickson, Coach Ezra Hendrickson, have to figure it out. Can they? Oh, I can't wait to get girls. Transition so much smoother and cleaner for you guys. Just make the almost like a YouTube video, just silky smooth, like a beautiful blanket. Let's get it going. Connor saying, let's see what's going on with these games. So we did get to see the Dylan White and Tyson Fury fight during the Chicago Fire match, and we did get to enjoy. That was awesome. Tyson Fury, of course, knocking down and out Dylan White. It was awesome to probably end his career. The final fight of the GOAT of heavyweight boxing, Tyson Fury. What a man. Great guy. If you never heard of him, I suggest you check him out. Even though that this was his last fight, he's just a good dude, and he represents good things. Even though he's a fighter. He's a fighter from England. He's got a good head on his shoulders, even though he's taking a bashing for a living. Good guy. Well, Chicago Fire go down in a blaze of not glory. It was not that glorious, guys. If it was glorious, it would have been more goals. But not to be this day here in Minnesota, unfortunately, for Chicago Fire. Miguel Navarro picking up a card, so Will Trapp, Gaston Jimenez, Federico Navarro also. And then Federico Navarro in the 77th minute, getting that second yellow card. Boom, change the game, final card of the match. In comes a goal from Kervin Arriaga. In comes a goal from Robin Lode, and boom, that's the game. Let us know what you guys think. Was there any way that the Fire could have possibly changed the momentum? Should Ezra have been looking to maybe pull Federico Navarro off after that first yellow? Should he have been looking at his two midfielders? I know this as a coach, as a FIFA player. I see those two midfielders of mine with yellow cards right there, 41st minute, 52nd minute, and I know I've got to change one of them by the 70th minute. What do you think about that, guys? But I see Gaston Jimenez and Federico Navarro both having yellow cards, and that makes me concerned as a coach. And I would say I'd be making the move by the 70th minute or so to bring in somebody who's not on another yellow card and possibly change this game and keeping it close. Who do you bring in there at that midfield? And he brought in Pineda. I think he brought in Pineda maybe a little too late. He brought in Mauricio Pineda in the 82nd minute. If he brought in Pineda for either Gaston Jimenez or Federico Navarro right there around the 70th minute, that may have influenced the match. How, of course, it would have influenced the match, but it just would have influenced the match in the way that we wanted to go? Hard to say. Truly hard to say. Here I am playing armchair coach. Let us know what you guys would do if you guys were playing armchair coach. We're curious to hear. Thanks for joining us here on SPITTINGFIRE. Guys, all right. I think we got to get into it now. 11 shots, 3 on target for the Loons. 3 goals. Damn. Just accurate. And every single one of those shots beat Gago Sonita effectively. There's not much he could do. He's always been in the right position for most of these shots all the season, so far this season. But today, the shots came in spots that the defense let him come in at very dangerous spots, and it led to some mistakes. What was Gago Sonita to do? He, of course, got a 5.5. Scored. Kulich 6.1. So did Olmsberg. Chicos with a 5.8, 6.7 from Miguel Navarro, the new fiance. Don Jimenez got a 7.2, the best Chicago Fire player on the day. Can you Fire fans believe that? He did get a yellow card. Navarro, 2 yellow cards, along with that red card, of course, that led to that red. 5.8. Ivanov had a chance, had a wicked chance. Big save by Dane St. Clair. I remember that early on in the match, but Ivanov getting a 6.1. Shaqiri, quiet game, coming back from his tender right calf muscle tightness, putting up a 6.4. And Brian Gutierrez also putting up a 6.4. Quiet day for the Chicago Fire offense. They did not get things going. Really, that first half was all Minnesota. They were like, they did not let Chicago Fire get anything going when it came to possession. Usually you've seen in these matches so far early on in the season is the teams will get settled pretty early on. Maybe one team dominates the first 8 to 10 minutes and the other team gets a chance to have the ball for a little bit and get their own little separation and little time with it. Chicago Fire really struggled to get that today going, though. Minnesota was just owning the field for the most part. And you could see that in the grades. Arriaga with an 8. Les Load with a 7.3. Reynoso with a 9.2. Emeria with a 6.3. Fragapane with a 6.2. 7.2 for Will Trapp. Fisher with a 6.8. Boxall 7.2. 7.4 for DeBasi. Kamar Lawrence with a 7. And Dane St. Clair just pitching out a shutout, his 3rd of the season against Chicago Fire. Of course, Slonina still has more shutouts. Will that trend continue? I think so. I think Slonina's do more shutouts. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Not only, and plus on that, one of the best goalkeepers on the U.S. men's national team. I think he's right around the corner there, guys. Thanks for joining us here on SPITTINGFIRE, by the way, guys. I think that's about gonna do it, unless anybody wants to, slide into the chat, get the Discord audio going, because I have about said my piece on the Chicago Fire and this game. I think it was a good game to see to see the heart of Chicago Fire exposed and destroyed, and see how they respond. It wasn't good. It was not good. This was not a good response from the Union Omaha loss. It was a quiet. Is it concerning? I don't think quite yet. We may be approaching there, but we guys can't rule out the start. The start of this season has been fantastic. So, do the Fire have the ability to continue their winning ways? I think so. How many have they won? Only 2. But how many have they lost? Only 2. So, don't sweat this loss too badly. We've only lost 2, but then again, we've only won 2. We draw 4. And I think the Fire are going to do a lot better than this as the season goes on. Ezra Hendrickson has impressed me early. Some of these decisions today and on Union Omaha match may be a bit more some mistakes, but hopefully he can learn from these. This is his first season as head coach. We have to let him. This is a little different than Paunovic. It's a little different than Wikis. Those guys were the head coaches. Those guys came from being the head coach on their program, even though they were youth programs. With Ezra Hendrickson, it's a little different. He's now the head guy. He's not been the head guy anywhere. Well, he was the head guy in a position at Seattle Sounders too. So he did have a position there where he was in charge. That was probably the closest. But even still, he's in a hierarchy behind the first team coach behind that. So I'm excited to see the turnaround that we could see out of Ezra Hendrickson. Things he's learned, the things he's got in his toolkit, things he can help these players that they could do so they could achieve new, higher, and better heights here in Chicago and on the MLS table. I think it's going to happen. I think that's about it for me, Fire fans. I think that's about it. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hearing my thoughts on the Chicago Fire. Please let us know yours. I do this after every game, so I encourage you guys to join me here in the chat, here in the Discord. Feel free to get involved. Love to talk Fire with you guys. You guys are the best in the business to talk Fire with. Catch you guys on the next stream. Fired up footballers. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on the next one. Later.